Hey homeschool friends, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to talk all about homeschool YouTube. How to start and create a channel if you're interested in that, or maybe you already have a channel. Maybe you are a small YouTuber, and so we can chat about some ideas that might help your channel grow. And so I know it's like the beginning of the school year and everybody's really excited and sharing curriculum. And because of that, I thought maybe some of you were thinking about starting a channel or maybe wanting to give back to this community because you get so much from it, which was really one of the reasons I started my channel. Was I just felt like the homeschool YouTube community was just so helpful for me as a new homeschooler. So I started a channel. So maybe that is you. But a bit of a disclaimer. So I am no expert. Obviously, my channel isn't even that large, but I feel like I've had some success on this platform and I have really enjoyed it. So if you are at all thinking about or have ever thought about potentially starting your own homeschool YouTube channel, I think you should. I think you should just do it. It is a lot of fun. So stay tuned for my thoughts and tips for getting started on that. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel if you're new here, or welcome back if you have been coming for a while. So like I said, this video is going to be all about starting your own homeschool YouTube channel. So if you are intrigued by this idea, please consider giving the video a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel if you want to. It really does help out my channel. But otherwise, let's just hop in. And I want to hop into the first, probably most important tip or aspect of this video, and that is the content. What kind of content do you want on your homeschool YouTube channel? But before we hop into specifics on that, because I've got some thoughts and opinions and advice to go with that, I'd say the best thing you can do is be authentic. Really just be yourself. There are so many different homeschool moms on this platform that just do things differently and perfectly for their family, and so do you for your family, and I feel like that is the best thing that you can share. So share your story, share your journey. If you're just starting out or if you've been doing it for like 5 or 6 years, share all that with people. Share the ups and share the downs as you go through this homeschool year. I feel like people really appreciate that, or maybe that's just me. I just like sharing that because I feel like there's some reality in my struggles as well as my like triumphs, those just amazing moments in homeschooling, like teaching your child to read. I'd say wrapped up in that idea, it's probably good for you to think a little bit on the front end as to how much you want to share, say, your kids in your videos or their names or different things like that, because everybody has a different level of how comfortable they are with online privacy, and it's good to just start with thinking about that. You can always change it later, but I feel like it's something good to think about, especially in a homeschool YouTube space. But next, I would say, just when I'm thinking about content, is I would ask myself, well, how am I gonna have enough videos to talk about homeschooling every week or twice a week or whatever I decide to do? Well, I think there's some helpful things here. Is you can start by mapping out just the different types of videos. First, that you like to watch, and second, that you would like to share. And so there's some common ones. Obviously, there's people sharing curriculum. So like, what are you using for the year? Then you can also do flip throughs of the curriculum. So you can kind of do that at the beginning of when you get a curriculum, and or unboxings. Those can be videos unto themselves. You can also do reviews. Say you've used the curriculum for 6 months or a year or whatever. You can tell people how you liked it, why it did or didn't work with your children or your homeschool style and things like that. So you can do flip throughs, unboxings, reviews, all those things that just have to do with curriculum. And then you could do a lot of other things as well. You could share homeschool supplies. You could share room tours. You could do day in the life videos. People just love day in the life videos. You could do homeschool routine videos, morning, afternoon, evening routines of your family and how you do homeschool. You could do morning basket type stuff. So if you have kind of a revolving resource basket of some sort, you could share those. So there are so many different types of videos. But I do recommend thinking about that ahead of time so you don't feel the pressure to like, I have nothing to make. You could also spend some time within the homeschool YouTube community and see what other people are making, see what you might be interested in making. Although if you do take an idea from somebody else and it's very similar to theirs, you can just easily give them a shout out that this was inspired by such and such on this channel. I think that's just polite, but that's just a really good way to find inspiration, is to look at the videos other people are making. And for me personally, my technique for this is to be a little bit balanced on this, because I feel The homeschool YouTube community is a little unique on the YouTube space because it's like equal parts education, like you're really sharing something that somebody needs. They want to see inside a certain curriculum. But there's also some entertainment value, like you're doing a day in the life, or you're bringing people along when you're going like homeschool supply shopping or something like that. There can definitely be some ideas that are very much entertainment, but education. So we're kind of straddling that, which I think is fun. I think that's what makes the homeschool YouTube space really, really fun. And so I tend to try and balance my ideas as best I can with my content, because I think if you're only focused on like the education or the curriculum, you'll just kind of get burnt out, and it's fun to throw some more creative ideas in there as well. So I do recommend that. As for maybe like the first videos I would make is, say, okay, you're gonna make a channel, you've decided. I would recommend the first videos you put out are your curriculum videos. So say you have a second grader and a kindergartner, you can put out a couple videos depending on how you do your homeschool. You can do like a second grade individual subjects, kindergarten individual subjects, as well as family subjects videos. So that's like 3 videos right out of the gates that you can make. And I feel like those videos are really helpful because they help people see what specific curriculum you use, as well as maybe a little bit into your like homeschool style. And so I feel like I tend to subscribe to people who share some of that with me, so I can really get some tips and help and maybe curriculum ideas from their channel. But I also do subscribe to people who do things completely different than me, but I just really enjoy like their personality, and I find their videos really entertaining. So I feel like starting with your curriculum videos is really helpful. The other thing you could do as some of your first videos is to look at your curriculum and try and pick out any that are not very well reviewed on YouTube. Like search all of your curriculum on YouTube and then see which ones have a lot of videos and which ones don't. And then review the ones that don't, because you're adding to the space. You're helping people out. They can search for that, and now they have a flip through video that you made for them, and then they could potentially subscribe to your channel. So I'd say those are the first videos I would put out, is your own specific curriculum plus some less well-known flip throughs or reviews and things like that. So I would say that is about what I had to say about content. Let's talk about logistics. Logistics for running a YouTube channel. So there's a few things to talk about here. I guess first I'll talk about schedule. So it's good to think through a schedule that you might want to upload. Now, you don't have to hold tightly to this or be really stressed about it, but try to be fairly consistent. You can look at your life and be like, I think I can make 2 videos a week, or I think I'll start with 1 video a week and see if I can build up. So just kind of decide that and think to yourself a little strategically as to when you can put something up. It's just better for you, your viewers, and the YouTube algorithm and all this if it's somewhat consistent. And then what do you use to film your videos? And so when I started out, I started with my phone. I had an iPhone 7 at that time. So I started with my iPhone 7, and I didn't even have a tripod. I propped it on some books in front of me, and I sat in front of a really bright window, which is what I tend to do. Today's a little dark out, so I had to use my ring light. But when I first started, I did not have any of these things. I did not have a mic, a light. I did not have a fancy camera. I had none of these. I had the sun. I had my phone and a stack of books to prop everything on. That's what I started with, and that's what I kept for a good many months until I wanted to invest in just a few things that made my life easier. One, a tripod. I just got an Amazon Basics tripod. Maybe I'll link everything down below for my like equipment and things like that. So I started with that, and then I picked up one of these clips that will hold your iPhone onto the tripod. So I did not explain that well, but these things are really, really handy, so that way I didn't have to prop it on books. And then I just picked up a basic clip mic, and that was really useful. So I used that setup for a good 1.5 years, honestly, and I was perfectly happy with it. Then once I became monetized, I put away some money and upgraded my equipment a bit to a camera, a ring light, and a microphone on top. So I still don't have the most snazzy of equipment. I grew with it. So what I'm saying here is you don't have to start with everything. Actually, it's better if you don't. Just start practicing, put videos up, get your feet under you, and then see where it goes before you invest in a bunch of stuff, because your phone is probably good enough, more than good enough. Some of the cameras on the phones these days are amazing. Okay, so say you get all that, you do all that, you start recording your first video. Then there's the after you've recorded. Like, what do you do with this? How do you get it all up on YouTube? So there is a number of how-to videos on YouTube for how to do YouTube. But basically, you'll just need a editing software and a thumbnail app of some sort, and you can get both of those free. Like, I now have an editing software that I do pay for, but prior to that, I was just using, I honestly have forgotten what I was using, but I will link it down below. And then I was using the free version of the Canva app to make my thumbnails. So these things are actually very simple to do. And then as for like setting up your channel, again, you don't need to get all fancy. Some people just get so into the artsy thing, like you have to have it all set up and beautiful before you start making videos. The honest truth is you don't, because not that many people are watching your videos when you first start your channel. And so having all of that fancy stuff is just a lot of work. And you should just get started and then add that stuff as you go. So you'll just really need to make yourself a YouTube banner for your YouTube channel, as well as pick a name. Pick a name for your channel. I also do recommend an email address, maybe not right away, but that's been nice because then you don't busy up your personal email. I found having an email address that's associated with my channel has been really nice. Okay, so that's a bit of the logistics. Now I'm trying to think of what else I want to mention. Oh, I do want to talk a bit more about like the community. You have the Homeschool YouTube community, which like I said, I really enjoy. It's just a really friendly community. And so when you first get started, interact with the community. Like, go watch other people's videos, comment on their videos. Mind you, don't make annoying comments on other people's videos like that are saying, here, come watch my video. That's just a little bit rude because creators put a lot of effort into their content and they don't want it just as like a springboard for your channel. But you can make some authentic comments on their channel and you can just start to be engaged in the community. And it's really fun because then you can start doing like collab videos or different things like that. And it's enjoyable. The other thing I would recommend is make sure you're commenting back on anybody who comments on your videos. That is just such a neat thing that people will take the time to write something on your videos. So make sure you're commenting back as much as you can. I feel like I used to do this so much better than I do currently, but I still do really enjoy interacting with all of you. So that is a big tip as well. And then I would say expectations. Like, what are some good expectations for starting a YouTube channel, starting a homeschool YouTube channel? I guess the first thing is this is not a big money-making platform. Most people don't get big because it's a very niche community. There's only certain people who are looking to watch homeschool content, but that doesn't mean that it can't be very enjoyable. It's just the idea of you're probably not going to make a ton of money on it, but you can get monetized and you can also work with companies and you can start getting the curriculum sent to you for free for an honest review. So there's options and the options are really fun. I just think it's good to have proper expectations before starting this endeavor. So yes, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to share. Not really, other than to encourage you just to start. It can seem a little scary and you're putting yourself out there, but if you have that desire, if you're kind of feeling like you want to, just try it. Like I said, don't invest in a ton of stuff. Just start with your phone, start making videos, start engaging with the community and see what happens. I've been really amazed by what's happened in the past like 2.5 years since I've been within this homeschool YouTube space, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. You guys have been such a joy to get to know, and it has been really fun to be able to share our journey with all of you. So that's what I have for this video. I hope it was helpful and like interesting to those of you, even if you didn't really want to start your own channel. But if it was, please give the video a thumbs up. And otherwise, guys, I'll see you for the next homeschool video. All right, take care.